Hello. Uh, so today we will be discussing the current affairs from the newspaper The Hindu, dated 29th October 2023. Yes. So the first topic is the ongoing Israel Hamas situation, which is already going on. So what happened that in UN, Jordan, on behalf of the Arab League, has passed the resolution. This resolution is co-sponsored by nearly 20, was co-sponsored by nearly 40 countries. This resolution was titled "Protection of the Civilians and Upholding Legal and Humanitarian Obligations." So, what happened when this resolution was passed? There were 120 countries who favored this resolution, 14 were against this resolution, and 45 were in the abstentees. Now, in this, India was among those who did not vote in this resolution. Now, the article here it talks about the reason for India not voting in favor or against the resolution. The one explanation that it gives is that the resolution did not have any explicit condemnation of the October 7 terror attack. So India's stand has always been against terrorism, and in this particular resolution, there was no explicit mention about the condemnation of the terrorist organizations, and that is why India condemned this the resolution and did not support it. Did not support it in the sense that it did not vote either in the favor or in the against. Now, there was a critic to it. What happened that when what happens whenever a country votes in favor or votes against or in abstentees, so that country has to gives an explanation of the vote. So in this explanation of the vote, uh, India has given this explanation of no explicit condemnation. However, in this explanation of vote, it also does not mentions about the term Hamas. That is, the Hamas term has not been directly mentioned. We India, like India talks about terrorist organization, but the term Hamas, the organization Hamas, has not been explicitly mentioned. Moreover, India has not yet recognized Hamas as a terrorist organization, and that is why what Israel is pushing India. It is saying that India should consider putting Hamas into a terrorist organization. So this is what in the explanation of what was there. So, a resolution to be passed, it requires around two-third vote. This resolution was passed because it has 120 votes. And what happened that regarding this explicit condemnation, Canada passed an amendment to the particular resolution. However, in to that amendment, only 88 supports were passed, and so that amendment did not get passed, and therefore this is the resolution which is in the original state. Now, this move of Indian government not voting in favor of this resolution has been condemned or slammed by the opposition parties. And in this whole situation, India's view has been India supports the two state solution regarding the Israel Palestine issue. The second news regarding the same topic was that the Israel has been expanding its groundwork into the Gaza, especially in the northern region, and more details on how what weapons it is deploying were mentioned, but I don't believe it is important. So moving on to the next point, what happened that a fisherman issue has been in news. uh, so what happens that in the southern region, the fishermen they go into deep waters and thus crossing their territorial regions and getting into the territorial regions of the foreign countries. So Tamil Nadu and the other southern states have been facing this issue, especially with Sri Lanka, and now we are seeing this situation with the Maldives also. Now what happened that these 12 fishermen were detained by the Maldives Coastal Guard. And so the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, he has written or he seeks Jai Shankar, that is our external minister's help in no in freeing our fishermen which are being detained by the Maldives. One reason which was given in the article was that these fishermen, when they go into when they went into deep sea fishing, what happened that there were circumstances because of which they automatically got drifted further into the Maldives area. Like it was not intentionally that they went into the Maldives areas, but there may have been currents or there may have been storms or drifts because of which their fishermen were forced to because of which they were drifted into that area. So this is one of the reasons which the locals, which the marine community has been citing. Moving forward, the third current is that an Amrit Kailash Yatra is being going on. In this, there is a Meri Mati Mera Desh campaign. Under this, pots of rice and soil samples are being collected. Pots of rice and soil samples are being collected from across India, and these will be sent to Delhi as part of the campaign. Only this much is important at this moment. What is this campaign in detail? We will discuss it in separate video. Let this campaign get more highlighted and then we will go into more detail. And the fourth current point is that this is related to art and culture. So there is a performance in the name of Kathapra Sangam. Kathapra Sangam. It is a form of a storytelling, and this harmonium, tabla, or other forms are being used. So it is mainly practiced in the southern area, especially in the Kerala Ernakulam district, and its origin can be traced uh, with the theme of against casteism and dominion of superstition. Here, what happened that an artist named Satya Devam is also known as Neelkanta Bhagavatam. Neelkanta Bhagavatam. So he, who was a follower, that is Satyavadam, who he is a follower of social reformer Narayan Guru. So he gives the tale of Chandela Bhikshu by Kumar Asan. So when he gave this tale, it was basically against it was based on the theme of of fight against casteism and domination of superstition. And in doing so, this Kartha Prasangam art and art performance became popular, and so far it is being now practiced in the Kerala state in a more elaborate manner. Yes. This is only thing which you need to know about in the art and related topic. Moving forward, in the fifth point, that there is a LibTech India study. So in the LibTech India study, what it has found that there has been 7.5% dip in the active workforce under the Mangarega. So here that there was data which showed that in 2022, that is in last year in April and September. Last year in April and September, there were around 15.49 crore workers. And in 2023, in the same month, that is in April and September, there are around 14.33 crore. So this number has declined, and this is equivalent to 7.5% dip. So we can say that in Magnarega, if someone asks how many persons are employed in Magnarega, so in that you can say that around 15 crore people get employment under this scheme. Yes. So this is what this LibTech India study has found, and it has like I did not find any specific reason, but there was a trend which was in opposed to this decreasing unemployment, decreasing workforce, and that was that despite there being a decline in active workforce, because see the workforce has been declining, despite this decline there has been rise in the number of person days. There has been rise in the number of person days, and this rise has been equivalent to 9%. 9% rise in person. So what percentage is? Percentage means that in like a person who is employed, he works for X number of days. So this X is that person's number of days which he has been employed. So what the study has found that in the same period, that is in April and September in 2022, there was 172.24 crore people who person days, and this in 2023 in April and September has increased to 188. So it was like if we look at into this, we will find that the active workforce has decreased. See, the from 10, for example, from 10 it has decreased to 5, but the number of person days, that is earlier there were 100 people who are doing the same work, but now despite the number of active workforce falling, they are doing more work. They are like they are doing more works on more number of days. So like for 5 persons they will be doing 150 days. So this is a contrast to the trend which should be happening. So this is what the libdec India study did. uh, and it also showed that this data in Magnaregas had state variations across different levels. Yes, moving forward in the next point. Earlier we saw that the park rangers were no they were firing across the Arnia district of JNK. So what BSF currently did that it had lodged a protest with the park rangers over the ceasefire violation, and this is it. More points are not required here. In the seventh panel, the Mahua Mohapatra case for query allegations are still going on. So what happened that there was a date that the ethics panel had called her to attend the hearing on 31st October, but she asked for an extension, and so now the ethics panel has given her the date of November 2 for hearing. Now she is being heard in a case for query allegation, and this allegation was made by BJP MP Nishikant Dubey. So what he said that Mahua Mohapatra MP. So she took cash from businessman. She took cash from businessman Darshan Hira Nandini to ask questions in Lok Sabha, and this is what the case is all about. Now she is saying that if a hearing is going on, then she should even have the right of hearing and defending herself and questioning the businessman Darshana Hiranandani. That is, she wants to cross-examine this businessman, and if this cross-examine this person, and she is citing the principle of natural justice. And if this particular situation does not happen, she has used the term of kangaroo court, where the laws, where the due process is not being properly followed. Yes, so this is what the whole article was talking about. Moving forward, the eighth point. There was a petition which was pressed by the NGO ADR. So it is a very like it is an election related NGO. So the electoral bond issue is electoral bond case is still pending in the Supreme Court. Now, in this perspective, this NGO has been pressing the Supreme Court to take up this case before the 2024 elections. And so, what happened that the CGI has formed a five judges bench, with the Chief Justice of India being the head of that bench, to hear this case on 31st October. Now, in this case, what it will be hearing is that first it will be hearing the legalizing of anonymous donation to political parties. The second point which it will examine is the violation of the citizens' right to information about the funding of political parties promoting corruption. In all this case, it has been cited that the electoral bond is in violation of the Article 14, 19, and 21. So, in this, from 31st October, we will be following this case, and then we will know what the judiciary considers about the electoral bond. Moving forward, the ninth point, that activist Manoj Janindya Patil, So he has been protesting for the Maratha quota, that is reservation in the education and government job. Nothing important here. Moving forward, so we know that Manipur issue has been going on. So what happened that citizens, that is Kuki Zo people, that these are an ethnic group, they were displaced during the clashes in the Manipur region, and at this moment they are settled in the Izawal East Assembly constituency, which is represented by the Chief Minister Zoramthanga. And so, this is what is important for you. You just need to know about this particular group, that is Kuki Zo people, and rest is not important at this moment. Yes. Next point, Bangladesh has it is building a memorial. It is building a memorial to honor the 1971 Indian heroes at Ashuganj. Our PM will also be there to inaugurate it. The next point, that is on August 11, 2023, the center has introduced on August. This is an important point, and it will be discussed in detail over many articles, and so we won't be going into detail over it. Yes. So what happened that in August 11, 2023, the center had introduced three bills. One is the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, then second is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and the third is the Bharatiya Shakya Bill. So these three will be replacing the CRPC, IPC, and the Indian Evidence Act 1872. So the art in this article, this article talks about the Supreme Court Judge, Justice Rajesh Bindal, who has favored these bills and says that these bills are critical and important because these bills because over the 163 years a lot of things have changed, and so to bringing new acts favoring the current circumstances become important. In this article also it has mentioned about the current situations which needs to be urgently looked into. So the current issues are: one is the pendency of the cases, the second is the overcrowding of the jails. The third is the low eviction rate. Fourth being the lack of integration of technology. Fifth, delayed investigation. And sixth, procedural complexities during the functioning of the executives, the executives and judiciary. Yes. So this is what the article talked about. Moving to the next point, our point number 13. So WHO Southeast Asia members will be meeting to nominate its regional director to discuss the health issue. So what happened that in UN, that is the WHO wing. So WHO has that it has regional bodies which look after the WHO working. So in Southeast Asia, of which India is also a part, so in this, these the different members will be coming together to nominate the director. And in this meeting, at this moment, they will be discussing these three major points. However, we won't be looking into detail because when the meeting actually happens, at that moment, what will be discussed, that things discussed will eventually come in the newspaper. So when that event happens, it is better to study the events at that moment. Yes. So this is what the news is. Moving forward in the point 14, it is about the Delhi air pollution. We know that it is during this period of October, November, the Delhi witnesses air pollution, and this situation has been going on for many years. So the air pollution condition, as per AQI, is in the very poor state. The Ministry of Statistics has Environment Studies has passed an advisory in which the elderly, the children, and those with respiratory conditions are advised to avoid the outdoor physical activity. And that's it in this article. Moving forward in the 15th article, it has talked about the stubble burning trend. So this particular article says that in Punjab and Haryana, the stubble burning has decreased. However, the stubble burning has increased in Uttar Pradesh, and this data is being calculated September 15 to October 28. This trend analysis was done by the Creams lab of IARI. And the reason it cited is one, first is the in situ and ex situ management. The second reason is the varieties of the paddies which were in use. Third is the industrial use of stubble as fuel, and fourth, it gives a suggestion that the state government should make provisions for storage and transportation of the stubble. So what will happen with this storage and transportation of the stubble? The farmers will not be burning this stubble, but they will be storing this here in these areas, and from here the industries may purchase these stubble from them. So it will give an incentive to the farmers, as at the same time the industries will be able to fund, it will be able to make use of the resources, and in doing so what will happen, the stubble burning will decrease, the stubble burning will decrease, and thus the pollution in Delhi will also fall. This is what the article talked about. In the 16th point, the parabolic drug case is still going on. In this, the ED has been involved and is making like investigation. Let it unfold in few days. Then we will discuss what this case was in actual about. However, like in short, it is related to money laundering. Yes. Moving forward, now the national news is over. We will move on to the world news. So in world news, that one is that Starlink will be providing its service to the recognized organizations in Gaza for the aid purposes. So Starlink is a satellite communication network. Because of it is its advantage in satellite communication system. Its role becomes important in accessibility and internet access in areas where wires are not there. Yes. So if wires are not there, then in that case, Starlink may provide a good source of internet connectivity, and thus in doing so, aid process will become easy. The second point was that in Taiwan, the Taiwan is celebrating the LGBTQ pride. Reason being that the Taiwan has legalized marriage equality in 2019, but recently what happened that the gay couples were allowed to jointly adopt the childrens. Now the gay couples are allowed to adopt children, and so Taiwan was celebrating the LGBTQ pride. Third, in Iran, these are short news which I am discussing about. In Iran, what happened that a teen was injured on metro just because she was not wearing a headscarf, and now she is dead. Now, reason I am telling you all these 3 points is that when you are writing any answer in mains or in any point, you can use this as an example, as a short examples. They don't have any big news attached to them, but like they are examples which will give more credibility to your answers. Yes. Now, the second news is that in Israel, Gaza issue is still going on, though we will discuss it later on. And third, Myanmar clashes are going on. Similarly, clashes in Bangladesh are also going on. Elections are about to be held here. In Myanmar, we already know that the political turmoil is present here with the military taking the major role, and the democratic institutions are on the downfall. The fourth point is that in that the we are very much familiar with the gun culture of USA. So what happened that in US, a person named Robert Card, he using his gun had killed 16 persons, and this was the news. So this basically creates fear, and if you look that this gun culture has is taken up such a fearful look that the government has not been able to control it, and such gun deaths have been witnessing. That earlier there was an issue where that a person went into a school and killed their children. So such incidents need to be looked on by US, and this is what the world news were. Moving forward, in the science there was science news. It was it talked about Mars and then amount of salt. So what we will do that because the topics were only two or three. So I was thinking that that in a separate video I will be discussing the science topics like for 7 days or for a week, whatever science topic was there in the news, I will be discussing that in a separate topic. So what will happen that there will be a proper a collectiveness of science topic, and therefore it will become easy for a person to understand that. So this is what was there in the today's newspaper, and that's it. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you liked the current affairs.